Well, Syrians have spent the last year revolting against President Bashar al-Assad and his government. And as the uprising now enters its second year, more and more people are seeking refuge in neighboring countries. In the last 24 hours alone, nearly 1,000 Syrians have crossed into Turkey. We'll be live at the border in a moment. And meanwhile, armed fighters have pulled out of Idlib to avoid reprisal attacks on civilians. Here's Anita McNaught's fourth exclusive report from inside the city.
The maze of stone buildings in the old Medina of Idlib. You need to grow up here to know your way around. And the Free Syrian Army in Idlib are sons of this city. This is where they played as children. And this is where, as men, they may die.
We want the world to understand that we are finished with Bashar. We will put away these weapons. We want to go back to our normal lives.
Among Idlib's fighters are engineers, teachers, doctors, lawyers and university students. Are there any foreign fighters, fighters from outside of Syria, fighting with you? No was the answer. Al-Qaeda? No way. Who's against Al-Qaeda?
The Syrian media is misleading the world, trying to present us as murderous armed gangs and terrorists. We're not. We're a part of this world. We want to lead a decent life and raise our children alongside all our Syrian brothers.
Thrown together by an escalating conflict none of them planned for, they told us their weapons were almost all stolen or bought from the regular Syrian army. Most had done military service, some had defected from the army, none had any experience beyond that. A whiteboard on a nearby wall had 7 bullet points. One instructs fighters to conserve scarce and expensive ammunition, not to waste it, firing at tanks. Instead, they're heading down familiar improvised paths. We videoed homemade bombs, while activists videoed a Free Army fighter laying an IED at a road junction.
We've planted lots of explosive devices in the ground around Idlib, and we have made homemade cannons and bombs. And there's some new stuff that you'll see soon enough, but I can't go into any detail.
Whatever their secret plans for combating the vastly superior Syrian army, it appears at least the first fight for Idlib was a rout. Bombs can't stop flying mortar shells and tank rounds. You can't kill snipers you can't see. The Free Syrian Army took many casualties. Idlib's civilians, many more. Part of the pain of this revolution is that it's pitting school friend against neighbour.
They're killing their own people. Who are these soldiers fighting us? They're also sons of Idlib and its villages. We ask them to defect and join us.
They tell us, despite the overt religious observance among the fighters, that Idlib's 1,000-strong Christian minority has nothing to fear from the revolution.
The
Syrian regime is forcing the separation of religions. We are well-educated people and there is no way the regime can drive a wedge between us.
And fighters say they don't fear for themselves, but for the regime's track record of collective punishment.
Since I defected from the Syrian army, my family became trapped inside Idlib. They couldn't even go outside their house. That's why I'm covering my face, because if they see my face, they'll kill my family.
I will not cover my face, and I'm not afraid of the regime, because I don't recognize the regime anymore.
These men, caught between bravado and wanting to be known for who they really are now either in hiding, regrouping for another fight, or already dead.